Today's video is going to begin looking at one of London's most famous landmarks. The Tower of London is right there. But I'm going to show you, which I think is the number one hidden gem in the whole of London. It is not the hotel. But if we enter the hotel and we go past it, we're going to see something that I think is so underrated, so valuable, so historic. And the great thing about it is not many people even know about it. Just a stone's throw away from the Tower of London is this. This is part of the Roman wall, which was built by the Romans in the 2nd and 3rd century around the historic city of Londinium. We are talking 1800 years ago, around the year 200, and you can still see it in London today. It is an amazing piece of history. There's a few places in London where you can still see some of the remains of the Roman wall, and one of them is right here. I think this is such a hidden gem because we can see the Tower of London right there. And if you go inside there, I'm not telling you not to go inside there, definitely go inside there. But if you do go inside there, number one, you're gonna have to pay money. If you come here, it is completely free. Number two, you're gonna be surrounded by 1 million tourists. There is 0 people here. There's nobody here. This is not a well-known spot. So many tourists will never, ever, ever know about the Roman wall. It's right here and it's almost 2,000 years old. I highly recommend coming to check out the Roman wall. It is incredible. And there is a spot over here where we can walk through the wall. We can just see how well preserved it is because of course it is right near the hotel and it is surrounded by modern buildings, businesses, offices, and a wall that is 1800 years old. Isn't that just incredible? I think that is mind-blowing. I love it so much. The history in London is incredible. Everywhere you turn there's going to be historic stuff. And some of it people don't even know about. I am touching a wall that was built 1800 years ago and there is nobody here. Where's all the tourists? They should be seeing this stuff. I'm going to see one last look. See how deep it is. This would have surrounded the whole city of Londinium. 2nd and 3rd century. Incredible. Good morning and welcome to London. We have plenty to see in today's video, so let's move on. Hit subscribe if you would like to explore more of London with me. Everywhere I go today is going to be in the description, so you can go there too whenever you visit London, the greatest city in the entire world. I have a few hidden gems planned for today's video. Hopefully things that you've never even heard of, but maybe you're going to find interesting. That building there is called the Gherkin. You Americans call it a pickle. In the UK we call it a gherkin. Christmas has arrived here in London. A lot of Christmas trees, Christmas decorations around the city. Currently walking through the business district, so we're going to see a lot of people going to work. There is that Gherkin building again. Many Londoners getting their morning coffee at one of the many coffee shops in London. Coffee is going to play a part in today's video. Across the street here, so we see some more Christmas trees. It is too early for Christmas trees. It's not even December yet. Passing by Leadenhall Market. I featured this in a previous video, so go and check that out. They have beautiful Christmas decorations. Huge Christmas tree in there right now. In the last few videos, I've just picked a random street, random alleyway, go down there, just see what's down there. Just saw Cowper's Court. Never heard of it. No idea what we're going to see. But every street, every road, every alleyway has some history. Something was going on here 100, 200, 300, 500 years ago. Who knows what? Sometimes you get a great one, sometimes you get something not that exciting, but there you go. Cowper's Court. No idea what the history is. our next destination is very close to the Royal Exchange. This is another very, very impressive building. There is the front of the Royal Exchange, and there is their Christmas tree. This is a very, very, very busy area. There's a lot of business people, a lot of tourists in this area, and there's something that I bet most of these people around here have never even heard of. The hidden gem right next to Bank Station. There's a plaque over here which I'm going to show you. But this was the birth of the post office, not only in the UK but in the entire world. So before 1635, only royalty in the UK were able to send letters, but they decided to open it up to the general public, and that was the birth of the postal service in the UK. The first national postal service in the entire world started right here. Here's the plaque near this spot. The General Letter Office stood in Post House Yard 1653 to 1666. That means that you can send a letter anywhere in the entire world today, but the first national postal service was started right here in the UK. Did you know that? And just across the street is something even older. There is plaques all over London, all over the UK, to be honest. They're called blue plaques, and sometimes if somebody famous was born in a place or someone famous lived in a place or a historic event happened, they put a plaque there. And you can see here that the stocks market 1282 to 1737. What? That is like 740 years ago. It's craziness. I need to get away from this area because it is absolutely jam-packed with people. Hopefully the next destination is a little bit quieter. See these school kids on their field trip today. They are extremely lucky they get to have field trips in London. This is what I remember. So many locations that I go to when I come back to London. I went there when I was a school kid. I'm very, 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 very lucky. Unfortunately, we cannot get any closer because it's closed right now. There's a lot of police in there doing something. I don't know what they're doing, but that is Guildhall. And this is one of the buildings that was not destroyed in the Great Fire of London 1666. And the reason is because of what the building is made of. For example, St. Paul's Cathedral was completely burned down because it was made of wood. Well, it had wood scaffolding around it, so it burned down and they had to rebuild it. But Guildhall is made of solid stone, so it was not destroyed in 1666. It is a beautiful building. It is huge. Oh no, I feel so bad. There's an older couple here. They're like 80 years old and they plan to go in the art gallery today, but the guy just told them that it's closed because the dogs are doing, the police dogs are doing some training. But it's a very, very cool building. If you ever visit, definitely visit Guildhall. But unfortunately, they won't be allowed to go inside today. It's so sad. Talking about those blue plaques, you're going to see a lot of these around the city. Destroyed in the Great Fire of London 1666. So like I said, a lot of places had to be rebuilt and some things did survive, just like the Guildhall. This next destination I'm so excited to share with you because I only learned about this very, very recently. It's another new place, never been here before. It is Postman's Park. And there's something very special inside that is definitely a reminder of the way the world is. First of all, Postman's Park is a very, very nice, relaxing park. It's a great place to have your lunch. It's a great place to just sit and relax. But there is something very, very special over here. And before I show you, I just want to tell you, just want to remind you that the world keeps going because of ordinary working class people. It's not because of celebrities, not because of rich people, it's not because of famous people. Regular everyday people keep the world going, and there's a wall over here that definitely celebrates things that regular people have done. So let me show you. Feel free to pause the video now if you'd like to read some of the stories, but it's ordinary people saving other people's lives, and they've put them on the wall here. Some of these stories are just incredible. Save the drowning boy from the canal, unable to save himself. There's another one here, leapt into the River Thames and saved someone from drowning. It's just incredible. There's police officers here. There's just regular people saving regular people's lives. I wish that we would do this more. We should recognize regular people doing extraordinary things and saving lives, because like I said, there's so much focus on celebrities, rich people, famous people, but these are the kind of people that keep the world going. It's regular ordinary people, and this is in Postman's Park. There's so many stories here of just regular people, and some of these dates they go back to like the 1800s, like 1876. Like it's pretty incredible. But there's one from 2007, so they do keep it updated. It's very, very cool. See, check that out. Who died from the injuries received in trying to save a child from a runaway horse. 1888. Incredible. I want to show you this park again. It's very, very nice. There's plenty of these parks around London. People like to come and have their lunch here. There's a lot of people sitting where the stories are, so I couldn't get too close, but one of them, it's an 11-year-old boy in like 1870 or something, saved his little brother, and it said, "Sorry mum, I saved him but I couldn't save myself." It's really cool. It's just, like I said, it's just regular people saving lives, which happens every single day. Like, why are doctors not treated like celebrities? Like, these celebrities, people worship them. It's just craziness when there's people saving lives every day. It's outrageous to me. But yeah, Postman's Park, that has a wall celebrating people. There's a lot of like jumped into the Thames and like ran into a burning building, and yeah, it's really cool to read it. They should do that more. That was Postman's Park. I've noticed something just outside that I want to show you, because it just shows you the history again in London. It's these police boxes, and these used to be for the police to call for backup, and also for the public to let the police know that there's an emergency, because of course people didn't have phones, so you have to find one of these boxes to report something. I absolutely love this stuff. London is so historic. I'm telling you, every building has a story, every street has a story. It's so cool. Sometimes it's 100 years old, sometimes it's 1,000 years old. It's so cool. I love London. Here's another one of those alleyways. Bengal Court. Look how skinny this is. Let's see what's down here. I have no idea. Never heard of it, never been down here. I see a pub. Look at that. Really makes you wonder what was going on down here 100 years ago. And there's a pub there. Looks like people are living up there. How cool is that? Okay, this alleyway is called St. Michael's Alley, and remember before I told you that we're going to talk about coffee in today's video. We're not going to drink any, but this was the very first coffee shop in the entire city of London, the Jamaica Wine House. Of course, today it's a pub, but there's a plaque here. Here stood the first London coffee house. Incredible. 1652. 1652, 350 years ago. It is amazing. Now it's just full of businessmen having a lunchtime beer, but there's so many little alleyways down here. It's incredible. But that was the first ever coffee shop in London, and the reason is because in this area there was people that business people, of course, people that did stocks and shares, and they needed somewhere to relax and chill, and of course they needed a clear mind, so they couldn't go to one of the many pubs. So that is why they opened a coffee shop. It gave them somewhere to sit and chill, and I'm pretty sure that I read that they started to put the stocks on the wall to make the people stay in there. It's amazing. There's another alleyway here. Like, what goes on down these places? Like, this was here 200 years ago. What was going on down here? It is amazing. Like, look at this. The things that you find. There is no city in the world that compares to London when it comes to history. The things that you just walk around and find is just amazing. This is called Bull Court. No idea. No idea. That store is called Simpsons. Don't know what was there. Amazing. Okay, I just read the quick history about Bull Court. This is just fascinating listening to this. So the first time that Bull Court appears on a map is 1746. It blows my mind. It's amazing. And that Simpsons was a tavern, and it opened in 1757, and it closed down in 2022 due to disputes over rent. They plan to reopen it as a restaurant, but it's still empty right now. This is amazing. I think this is one of the coolest streets that I've seen in London. Ball court, definitely come here. Like I said, these people are walking by, they have no idea what's down there. Maybe they don't care, but I think that's pretty cool. Little piece of history. We have to move on because there is still so much to see in London. Our next thing that we're going to see is related to William Shakespeare. Please let me know if you enjoy this kind of stuff. Please write a comment on this video just to tell me something, because I love this kind of stuff and I really hope that you enjoy seeing it as well. I love showing you. So let's move on. Let's go and see where William Shakespeare used to live. We have arrived at Love Lane, and there he is. That is William Shakespeare, but this is not where he lived. We need to walk down Love Lane because there's a clue that tells us where he lived. We can get a closer look of Mr. William Shakespeare. In a previous video, I went to the Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. It's just across the river from St. Paul's Cathedral, and you can still see Shakespeare's plays performed today. There are so many myths and legends around London regarding Shakespeare. For example, there's probably 5 pubs that claim this is where William Shakespeare used to come and drink beer, but you can't prove any of that stuff. But there is actually proof that he lived over here. Took me a while to find it, to be honest, but I found it. Check this out. There's a blue plaque. It says William Shakespeare had lodgings near here in 1604 at the house of Christopher and Mary Mountjoy. How incredible is that? Lodgings means that he rented a house or he rented a room from that family. And there is proof of this because in 1612, William Shakespeare went to court in a case between this family that he rented from and their son-in-law. And he said that I know this family because I rent a room from them or I rent a house from them, and it was in this exact area. It was in this exact spot. I think that is just mind-blowing. William Shakespeare himself lived right here. He walked down these streets. He went to church just down there. I think that is incredible. And there's people walking by. They walk by here every single day. There's people that work in these offices, and I bet they don't even know that blue plaque is there. They don't even know William Shakespeare used to live here. Maybe they don't care, but I find it so fascinating. But yeah, everywhere I've been today is going to be in the description, so you can come here too. And it's William Shakespeare walked right down here. I think that's amazing. I think that's amazing. And there's proof of it. There is actually proof because he said, I rent from these people and this is where it is. And that's pretty amazing because I remember reading, I don't know if it's true, but I remember reading that there's a small group of people that don't believe William Shakespeare was a real person. They think he was a group of people or whatever. So when they was writing the stories, they were collaborating together and then they just signed it as William Shakespeare. I think it's just a rubbish story, but yeah, William Shakespeare, he lived here and he walked down here. Amazing. I just checked the map and we are not that far away from the Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. It is exactly 1 mile away. If you walk in a straight line that way, you're going to go past St. Paul's Cathedral and then you cross the Millennium Bridge and then you're going to be at the Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. We are going to do that exact walk right now because we have one more destination to see in today's video, and it is right next to the Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. So let's go. There you go, we are passing St. Paul's Cathedral. Saying goodbye to St. Paul's, we're about to cross the River Thames. This is the Millennium Bridge. I'm going to zoom in right now, and in the distance you can see Tower Bridge, and I can already see the Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. And that building straight ahead is probably one of the ugliest buildings in the whole of London. That is a Tate Modern. It is completely free to go inside. It is a contemporary art museum. And then to the right is London Blackfriars train station. And there it is. That is the Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. It's an open air theatre, but our last destination is just down the street. All right, guys, this is a good one. Thousands of people walk down the street every single day, and I bet not many of them notice this. This is the ferryman's seat. And today there are over 300 bridges that cross the River Thames, but once in a while there was only one. That was London Bridge. It got extremely busy, it got extremely crowded because many people wanted to cross the river. So during the 1300s and the 1400s there were blokes called ferrymen who had their little boats, and for a small fee they took people across the River Thames. And this is where they waited, at the ferryman's seat. So customers used to come down this street, they used to pay their fee, and then they crossed the river instead of waiting in the traffic on London Bridge. This is a very interesting street as well. It's called Bear Gardens. And what do you think happened down here? Most of the people that wanted to cross the river late at night were drunk because they came to this side of the river to go to bear fights. Yep, they had bear fights down here. To go to bear fights, to go to pubs, to go to brothels. So they would stumble down here drunk, they would pay their small fee to the ferryman sitting on the ferryman's seat, and then they would go home across the river. How cool is that? All these people walking by, maybe they don't care like I said, but I think that's pretty interesting. The ferryman's seat. So next time you walk along the South Bank and you walk past the Shakespeare's Globe Theatre, why don't you stop on Bear Gardens and see the ferryman's seat. I think I'm going to sit in the ferryman's seat, and this is where we're going to end today's video. I really hope that you find these history lessons of London a little bit interesting. Maybe you've learned some things that you never ever knew before. Maybe you've seen some things you never knew existed. I'm still learning new things every single day about London. There is so much to see, there's so much to do, there's so much history here. That is why I love filming videos in London. Please write a comment. I reply to every single comment, and I love reading your comments about London because I'm so passionate about this city. It is the greatest city in the world, and I had so much fun today showing you the little hidden gems here in London. Please hit the like to tell me if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you want to see more of London with me, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch my video today. Have an amazing day, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.